Yo, what up guys, Ross Scalps here, and in this video, I'm reviewing Mickey 17. Alright, so the director of this movie is Bong Joon-ho, or however you say his name. Now, obviously, this movie has Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, and Steven Yeun, the guy who got swallowed by a freaking alien in Nope. Now, the budget for this movie is $120 million. Really? Like, for this movie, that's what we're doing? Not only that, the runtime is 2 hours and 17 minutes long. Now, let me just say, yeah, that's a little too long for this movie. Now, it's rated R, and as of right now, it has a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.2 on IMDb. So overall, it's, like a C tier. Now, quick summary of this movie. It's basically about a guy named Mickey Barnes, and he's an expendable. And basically what an expendable is someone who, once they die, they just get reprinted out. Their memories and stuff, all of it comes back. Like, he comes back to life, so he can't die. And, he's doing this for space exploration for this planet called Niflheim or whatever. Now, everything's going fine until there's two of them alive at the same time. From there, they have to figure out the best way to handle this situation and colonize the planet they're on. Not gonna lie, guys, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I thought it was gonna be corny. I was sitting there like, what are we doing? Like this movie just looks kind of dumb. They're trying to put comedy into it. And he was kind of like a wimpy character. I don't know. To me, it just didn't look that good. And after watching it, I gotta say, it was better than I thought it would be. I think it was good, but I think there's just a certain audience this is targeted for. So with that, I'll give you some of my pros and cons just so you guys can get a better idea of where I'm coming from. All right, so for the first pro, I'll say the premise itself. It's interesting and it's kind of intriguing. Just the thought of you literally can't die. Imagine if you couldn't die. What would you do? You literally could do anything you wanted. You come back and that might suck, but just to be able to know you literally can't die, that's an interesting premise on its own. And just how he processed it, because you die so many times, you know what to expect, and there's no fear really. You live with no fear. If you die, I'll just come back. Just that premise too. Along with that, when there's two of them, like the trailer shows, how would you feel? Imagine if in the movie, he has a girlfriend. Imagine you're dating this girl, but then there's two of you, so now both of you are dating her technically. How would you feel? Would you feel like, okay, that's me, but it's not you, but it is you? That would just. Nah, bro. But anyways, that along with Robert Pattinson, I think he did a solid job in here. At the beginning, he's kind of this wimp. And actually, throughout the whole movie, his character is kind of this wimpy, reserved dude. But then when his clone comes alive, he's like the opposite. He's like a aggressive, kind of more direct person. And I think Robert Pattinson does a good job of displaying both characters in here, from the wimp to the more aggressive personality. I think he does a good job of kind of balancing both and doing both. And I mean, besides that, I don't know if there's a lot else that this movie did good. Everything else is fine in here. I think the acting by the supporting characters is fine. I think, the alien endeavor is fine. I don't know. Everything else to me is okay. And I just think that's where the main movie stands out. It's just from the aspect of the story itself and just Robert Pattinson. I think those two things are going to carry this movie for you. But with that, let me get into some of the cons. And I think the first one I'll start with is it's too long. This movie's too freaking long. 2 hours and 17 minutes. I just felt like they kind of dragged it on. There were scenes where I thought they were going to cut, but they just kind of kept going, which was kind of good and bad. But for me, I just felt like the movie could have been at least half an hour shorter. Along with that, I think Mark Ruffalo, he's kind of weird. To me, he kind of played that role like Eddie Brock in Venom, the Venom movies. He's kind of... he was like a man who's kind of weak, unsure of himself, it felt like. His wife was telling him what to do, basically. And even with that, his general was talking to him, telling him what to do. I don't know, he just felt unsure, kind of like a weak leader. No wonder he lost the election twice, but I don't know, I just felt like his character was kind of weak, and kind of awkward. That's really a good way to describe him, just an awkward character. And I guess you can say that adds depth or something, but come on. And with that, I think the alien aspect of this movie was kind of just cliche or kind of corny. The aliens in here that they show and that they see in the movie and how it's resolved and how they colonize, the people and the alien, how it all is resolved. I just think it's kind of corny, and especially how quickly they can get to this one point to communicate with them. I think that's kind of plot right there. And even talking about that, just Mark Ruffalo, what he decides to do in that situation, come on, think. You wouldn't do that. And so that's another thing where you're just come on. And the last thing I'll say is this movie's not for everyone. For me, I think this is a good movie. Now, is it a good movie? Or is it just a good movie? That's really where the line is. You know, where do you draw that line? Is it good or is it's good? Right? I don't know. I'm just saying this movie's not for everyone. But if you're someone who's looking forward to this movie, I think you'll enjoy it. Like, I wasn't looking forward to it, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. You know, it was good overall. It's not horrible. There's some stuff that lacked, but it's still a solid movie. And yeah, so for me, if I had to rank this, I would give it a salty popcorn. I don't think you need to watch it in theaters. But if you do, and if you're looking forward to this, I think you'll probably enjoy it. But anyways, guys, with that being said, I just want to say thank you all for clicking on this video and checking out this review. I know it's a little late. You know, I was out of town. But I just want to say thanks. And comment below what you guys think of this movie if you've already seen it, or if you're going to go watch it. You know, comment your expectations. Comment if you think this is good or not. Comment if you enjoyed it. You know, I'd be curious to know. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.